on the spot, picking up your knee in front of you, swinging your arms. What we want to try not to do is have too much movement in the body. I'm trying to start to wake up the core here, as we're going to want to brace for most of our movements. You know, it's absolutely fine to not march so high, or to just hold your hands above your head. And you can also, you know, do some jumps and arm swings if you're feeling a bit more energetic. Okay, right, let's do a little bit of rotation. Just get some twisting through the torso. You can roll up onto those back toes, letting the heel lift. If you want, you can take your arms out wide, just don't knock the pictures off the wall. There was a reason I have my elbows bent. Okay, let's do some squats. Now, completely up to you, depending on your height and the happiness of your knees, you may or may not be going down to knee height in your squats. You know, if you're comfortable coming all the way down, you can. It's much further to come up. Your legs will get tireder. It's absolutely fine to squat to a chair. We just don't want to be sitting down and letting everything go blah. Okay, so it's just light touch, light touch, light touch. And depending on your level of fitness and your goals, you're very welcome to stay in the chair and then practice standing up. Okay? Really good for anyone, everyone. Squatting is life-saving. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to get a little bit of wakey-wakeys in those ankles and heels. Again, your friend the chair might come in handy here, just using it for balance. You don't want to use the chair, or you can use the chair less by being sideways. Having a slight offset will probably give you better balance, but it's also a slightly different load, so you might want to switch which foot's in front after you've done like 5 or 10. So you probably noticed I'm breathing a little bit harder, but I'm still able to talk. This is kind of the rate of, or the amount of effort we want for this workout. There's a scale called RPE, rate of perceived effort. And basically, like, 1 is, you know, you could do it in your sleep basically, and 10 is like, you can't do much more than like 20-30 seconds of this, you know, like all out sprint. You can't talk, you know, you're either gasping or you're almost doing it holding your breath. We're aiming for like a 6 today. So, you know, you can feel the effort, you are breathing hard, but you could still talk. It's always up to you whether you dial it up or dial it down. Any movement's better than none, but we're kind of aiming for a 6, maybe a 7. If you're watching this at any time other than sort of autumn, winter 25, 26, maybe that doesn't mean so much. I'm hoping this 6-7 trend dies off. It's very annoying because, you know, it's a really good number. And 7 has always followed 6 in my world. But anyway, that's what we're aiming for. Before our warm-up cools down again, let's get cracking. So we've got main circuit. I'm going to talk you through 2 rounds. You're very welcome to do more. Then there'll be a cool down afterwards. You can also just do 1. Remember, some is always better than none. Go for effort and enjoyment. Maybe even enjoyment and then effort. And, you know, that's the stuff that we stick to, and that's what makes the difference. Right, we're going to do about 40 seconds work, about 20 seconds rest. I'm going to start my timer just to make sure I keep us all going. And we're going to start with a squat, okay? You are very welcome to pick up a kid, your dog, a dumbbell, a water bottle. You know, a 1 litre water bottle is about 1 kilogram, but let's go. Right, down, up, nice. Strong legs, big squeeze, push those hips through at the top. A lot of people think that they need to get low, so they end up bobbing their head and they kind of run out of depth in their legs and they just bob their head up and down. That is a surefire way to 1, get dizzy, and 2, knacker your back. So just go as low as you can, keeping your head and chest up. Maybe a slight turn out of the toes feels good, but no need to be a ballerina, okay? It's completely different muscles. You can have your feet much narrower. Look, all this chatting's got us through. We've got 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. So next we're going to be doing push-ups, okay? You can do these on the wall. I can't because I've got my pictures that I keep knocking over. You could do them on your chair, okay? When you have your upper body higher, it's a bit less effort for the arms. or you can do them down on the ground, okay? Always put your knees down before you give up if you start with them up. Let's go. Down, up. Focus on your push. Okay, really try and push the floor away, keeping the front of the pelvis tucked in. Breathing. Let your exhale help you through the hardest part of the exercise. Good. We must be close, I can't see. I'm going to do a one-armed one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's my air fryer beeping. I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, next we've got reverse lunges. Now reverse lunges are both slightly less aggressive for the pelvic floor and the knees. You are very welcome to go forwards if you prefer. Reverse lunging is also really good for your brain because you can't see where you're going, so you have to trust yourself and develop a bit more balance and proprioception. Okay, 2 ways you can do this. Let's go. You can either just step back and then switch feet. Okay, nice and steady. Or if you want, you could do a bunch on one side and then count. I can let you know when it's half time. This builds a good bit of fatigue on the one side, which has its benefits. Okay, so let's switch halfway. Up to you whether you carry on alternating or doing one leg at a time. Okay, again, don't just bob your head down. Really try and drop your body, keeping your chest up. It makes it easier to breathe. Okay, there we go. Right, next one's a bit of a weird one. It's called Palloff press. So let's stand square, soft knees, brace those hips. We're going to bring our hands to our chest. You can do this with a weight. You're going to quarter turn to about 1 or 2 o'clock. Brace your abs and you're going to push the arms away, pull them back in. Push, pull. Now this isn't really about mad strength if you're doing it unloaded, but there's a lot of stability happening here. Your obliques, your transverse, all the sort of secret behind the scenes abdominals are working hard. Okay, let's switch to the other side. So we're going to quarter turn and we're going to reach, so we're resisting the rotation, which is really good, particularly if you're a mum and you have small people, or a parent or a grandparent and you're picking up little people and they squirm. This is really good for making sure you don't do any damage to yourself with that. Well done. Okay, next is our glute bridge. So we're going to come down to the floor. We're going to pop the feet near the hips. Okay, about hip width-ish. Down through the shoulders. Try not to push through your head. Try not to use your hands too much. We're going to lift through the front of the pelvis. Zip up that nice tight core that we just used. And we're going to boost to the top and then lower back down. Boost, lower. Boost, lower. Good, let's go. 25 more seconds. Good, go. 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 Okay, we got 10. Nice. Well done. Go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, well done. Up we come. Just watch for dizzy as you come off the floor. Okay, so we're going to start again. We're going back to our squats. Okay, we've got a little bit of plyometrics to do at the end. Plyometrics means bounciness. Bouncing is really good for our bone density. Impact, it's really good. But doing it in this kind of way rather than just running takes away some of the sort of cardio and repeated stress. Anyway, we're going back to squats. So let's squat and stand. Squat and stand. For a variation, you could offset how your feet are. And again, I'll tell you when it's half time. And you can switch to the other side. Really sorry if you can hear my knees cracking. Glad I haven't got the microphone on, it'd be even worse. Okay, switching your legs if you're doing slight offset, otherwise you're halfway. Keep your chest up. Keep breathing. Nice, steady breath, okay? You're in charge of your heart rate. It's not a sprint. It's also not a sleepwalk. But, it's walking up a gentle hill. That's the kind of heart we want right now. Okay, push-ups. Remember, you can do them elevated. if that's helpful, or you can pop the knees down if that's helpful, or you can do it knees up. Let's go. Down, push the floor away. Down, push the floor away. Good. Keeping that core nice and braced. Long back, try not to arch your back or leave your bum too high. Okay, put the knees down, that's better. Okay, let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job. Okay, got our lunges next, all right? If you've got the space, do a walking lunge, okay? That really challenges your balance. I haven't got the space to stay on camera, so I'm just gonna switch. I'm gonna go for fatigue again, so I'm just gonna step one back, same leg, until we're halfway. Good, slow that breathing down. Nice and steady. Great. Okay. Okay, last 2, and we'll switch. Good, go. Nice. Keep it going, guys. We've got 8 seconds, which is now 4, 2, done. Okay, that Palloff press again, okay? So, brace, I'm going to stand slightly side on, lift through your pelvis, zip up your zip, button up at the top, bring your hands to your chest and twist a little bit, okay? And then push out and pull back in. Now, if you can bring your hand to your rib cage, you'll feel the muscles are moving under there, okay? They're working hard to stop you pulling back to the center, okay? Come back through the middle, go the other way. Using your exhale through the hardest part. Good, let's do 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, glute bridge, down we come. All right. Getting those feet sorted, shoulders sorted, arms by your sides, little tuck of the tail, and then boost down. Boost down. If you want, you can do these one-legged. Maybe let's do 5 on one side. Good. And 3, 2, 1. Let's switch sides, or keep going if you're double legging. Good. Power. Power. Good. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, that's the 2 circuits done. We're going to do a little bit of plyometrics now, okay? As I said, good for bone density, a bit of impact. So, first, pogo hops, these are called. So try if you can not to have too bouncy knees, you have quite stiff legs, and you just hop, hop, kind of flat-footed. If you want to hop along, kind of let your heels kick underneath. Okay, I feel like one of those little wind-up toys that like flops along the bottom, along the table, you know? Okay. Obviously, if you're upstairs, then just be mindful of your downstairs people, or just try and, you know, push your heel down into the floor. Go outside. Outside is always good. Okay, we're going to do fast heel raises. So up, 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 up. Let your heels drop with as much pressure as is comfortable for you. Remember, you can always use that chair for balance, or fingertips on the wall. Offset yourself a bit if you want, for a little bit of extra fatigue on one side. Good. Well done. And then we're going to add a little bit of lateral in, because it's really good for us. So you can just step, catch yourself. Step, catch yourself. This can become a jump, or if you want, a full skater. Okay, so you hinge forwards a bit, reach for the floor, let that back leg cross over. Now, depending on how much space you have, maybe you challenge yourself. How far can you go? Have I gone off camera? I don't know. Can you get back? Okay? Just see what you do. A little bit of lateral. Remember, this doesn't have to be jumping. It can just be stepping as wide as you can manage. For 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, shake it off. We're only going to do that one once. Right, so we'll come and do our classic runner's stretch. Might spin the chair rather than use the wall. So we're going to pick up a foot. Okay, we want to push the foot into the hand and tuck the tail under a bit. So we get a nice big long stretch through the quad, through the hip flexor. A little bit up into the chest and shoulders. Breathe. Good, let's do the other side. Okay, really trying to lift the pelvic bowl up. Okay, that's those squat quads. Let's do a little bit of hamstring. So you're going to step your foot forwards, try and keep your leg as straight as you can, curl your toes up and sweep down the back of your leg. Okay, this can be to the floor if your body allows. It doesn't even need to be to your leg, but just hinging forwards is going to give a nice pull through the back of that leg. Once you've done a couple of those, you can go and hold. Remember, you can always recruit a surface to support you. Just try and push your leg straight, or pull your leg straight, I should say, really by reaching your hip and curling your toes rather than just pushing your knee back. We don't want the stretch to be in the back of our knee. Okay, let's do the other side. Bring that heart rate down with some nice deep breathing. Good, okay. Come stretch the calf. So you can either do like a short lunge and really try and bend that foot, that knee over the toes if your ankles are okay with that, or you could use the skirting board or a chair or a step and put your toes up and then try and lean forwards. Short of that, there's not a huge number of ways to stretch calves and they do get tight. Foam rolling them is a bit of an ab workout. So just respecting them and giving them a moment or two after most workouts. Trying to vary the kinds of shoes you wear, unless you have reasons not to. Trying to be barefoot when you can. And maybe just taking a bit of time, to give them a little massage. And just help them loosen off. Okay, and then let's do a little bit of chest and shoulders from those push-ups. So just bringing your hands either interlaced, or you can just hold a wrist, or you can clasp your elbows if you like. Lift the arms back and up, or you can put your hands on your hips. If you add a bit of a forward fold, you'll get some more hamstrings there. You can maybe interlace the arms or hands and take the arms over the top. Can also be nice to bring your hands up behind your head, and rather than overdoing it in that lower back, maybe put a little softness in the knees and really just try and press the elbows out while keeping a little bit of abs there so you don't lose the support in the pelvis. Good. Could also come and stand in the door frame with one hand on the door frame and just kind of push yourself through. Really nice way to free up the chest down into the arm. And do both sides of that. My imaginary door frame. You don't actually need the door frame, you can just imagine, but the door frame does make it, well, make it real rather than pretend. And there you go. You're done. So let's just take a moment to slow our breathing right down. You can either sit or stand, whatever works best for you. Come and bring one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your chest. Maybe you can feel your heart pounding. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Let's just take a few slow, steady breaths in through the nose if possible, and out through the mouth as long as you can. In and out. And in and out. Let's do one more. Keeping the eyes closed, maybe keeping the hands where they are, or you can just let them rest on your lap by your sides. Just give yourself a moment to notice how you feel. Remembering that you just did something really awesome for yourself. You prioritise you in what can feel like, an absolutely impossible task. There's never any time. And sure, doing an hour's exercise would potentially be better, but some is always better than none. Let's give ourselves a big hug and say thank you to you for this time today. Time to explore and time to connect, facing challenges with courage, kindness, playfulness and patience. And taking that and a little bit of peace, calm and confidence into the rest of your day. Releasing the hug, bringing your hands together, giving them a rub. Let's place our hands over our eyes. As we blink our eyes open, bring our hands down. And if you enjoyed that, I would love to know. Please do drop me a comment in the comments box below. Subscribe to the channel. Come find me on Instagram at ZestLiveWell, or I'm on Facebook under the same tag. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to sharing more short but effective home workouts that really do move the needle on your overall well-being. All right, until next time, have a good one.